gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, Arlo and I are out and about again today on this beautiful spring afternoon. And well, I've been out a lot lately and I've noticed that a lot of beautiful wildflowers and berries and lots of fun edible plants are starting to pop, and I thought I would come out and talk about a few of them. Today, like I said, I'm on the side of this hill here that's covered with wildflowers. And now one of the plants that I wanted to talk about is a beautiful wildflower called the blue dick, or the wild hyacinth. And I have one right here that I just lifted out of the ground, but it has these long, sort of onion-like stems and leaves, but it has this beautiful purple to blue cluster of flowers on the top. And then underground, it has this sort of bulb-like, what they call a corm, structure underneath. And this is the main edible part right here that's been, collected for thousands of years by the Native Americans, and used as a wild edible. You can also use the flowers too, which would be great in a salad because they are so colorful. They don't have a lot of flavor, but a little bit of sweetness, but they do have a beautiful color. Now, these corms are what have always been collected, and these can be eaten raw, or you can roast them or saute them. All right, so let's take this and peel it and see how it is raw. Look at that. It's not bad. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it has a starchiness to it, a stickiness and starchiness to it that, if you collect enough of them, you could use as, make for a great meal. Interesting. Like I said, it does have a sticky starchiness to it. Well, I'm going to collect a bunch more of those, and we'll take them home and we'll try to make something fun out of those. It is a very beautiful flower, and it is easy to spot because it rises up high above the other plants. You can see in this one here, on that long stalk. They don't have a lot of flavor, but I could see how they could be a great starchy addition to a meal. Now, one of the things you really need to be careful of is reaching your hand under bushes and rocks and things like that out here in the desert, because a rattlesnake could be coiled up in there. So make sure to take a good look before you start reaching into little crevices and under plants and things. And this is the time of year where they're starting to come out like crazy. The days are becoming warmer, and they like to come out in sun. That right there, it's that beautiful bulb, the beautiful corm, and then look at that long stalk-like, onion-like stem. Now, just like anything in the desert, and I've talked about this before, is I try not to harvest too many of one thing in the same area or off of the same bush, and I try to spread it around. In the desert, things tend to grow very slowly, and we also don't want to hamper any future growth. So we want to be able to come back year after year and find these here. So I try to spread my harvesting around. Now the soil is super rocky, and it'd be better to use something like a digging stick, or if you had a trowel, that would work a lot better. I'm just using my multi-tool here. Not the best for this blade, but hey, that's what I have. They kind of grow in amongst all the rocks in here, and it's easy to break them off and then lose track of the corm that's in there. So just need to slowly kind of remove any of these rocks that are in here. And there's quite a few large ones, surprisingly, and it kind of grows in between them all. So I'm trying to get down below. See, there we go. Get down below and lift that up. That right there. There it is. Yeah. Look at that. Hey, bud. Hey. Yeah. All right, so I moved to a different area of the desert where there's thousands of these blue dick wild hyacinths everywhere. I mean, this whole hill is just completely covered with them. I don't know if you can even see how many there are here. I don't think the lens can even pick up how many of these flowers there are. So in this area, I feel comfortable collecting a whole bunch of these because we're really not even going to put a dent in this area of flowers. So I'm going to get busy here and I'm going to start collecting. And the ground here is beautiful and soft, so they're easy to dig up. That just a couple minutes, I'm able to collect quite a few here. Blue, 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 bom, 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 bang, bang, dang, dong, dang, ding, dong, ding, blue dicks, blue, blue dicks, blue, 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 blue dicks, bom, 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 dang, dong, ding, ding. All Alright, we're back in the kitchen, and I brought this nice bunch of blue dicks that we collected out in the desert today, and I thought today that I was going to make some blue dick corm fritters. So once again, these little bulb-like structures under the plant is called a corm, C-O-R-M. Thought it's a funny play on words for a corm fritter, but I think they're going to be really tasty. So first thing I need to do is clean these all up, and then we'll get ready to make our recipe. You can see once you peel off that outer papery husk, it's very onion-like, bulb-like, and it has this nice white, dense bulb in there, which, like I said when we tasted it out in the field, that it has a little bit of stickiness to it, but it has a mild flavor, but an interesting one. Alright, so we have all of our blue dick corms all cleaned up. I peeled the outside skin off of them, I cut them in half, and I just rinsed them off, so these are nice and clean. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a pan, a hot pan, and I'm going to dry saute them or pan roast them to cook them a little bit, and then we're going to put together our fritter batter. Alright, so we're just going to take our little corms here, and we're going to put them in this dry pan. There's no oil in here at all, and we're just going to roast these a little bit. There's a little water because I did rinse them off, but we're just going to try to basically dry roast these just a little bit to take a little bit of the rawness out of it, and we're not looking to make them completely cooked here. Alright, that's just been about 5 minutes in this dry pan here, and we're getting a little bit of color on them, and they are still really firm, but they are softening up a little bit. And not only will this, like I said, take a little bit of the rawness out of them, the raw flavor, also it will give them a little bit of that roasted flavor and a little nuttiness to it, because they are very mild in flavor. Alright, so now we're going to put our fritter batter together, and what I'm going to work with today, okay, of course we have those blue dick corms, which we just roasted in the pan. We have some flour, some milk, 1 egg beaten, this is some baking powder, and some sugar. I don't know, that's about a tablespoon of sugar, and maybe a half a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm also going to remove some of these blue dick blossoms. Okay, so we have our bowl. I have a little strainer here which I'm going to use to sift the flour. So I'm going to put the flour into there, and we're just going to sift that. To that I'm going to add our sugar and our salt, also our baking powder. All that together, sift all that through. Our beaten egg, this is 1 egg beaten, and then our milk, this is just over half a cup of milk, going to add those blue corms to that. And then I'm also going to use some of these blossoms. So I'm going to pick some of these nice purple blossoms and mix them into our batter as well. And that's just going to add some color and some nice texture to that, different texture to that. Alright, so I have a pan here with some olive oil, hot olive oil, and then we're going to put our fritters right into the oil. Okay, and we'll take these off, and I have a paper towel here with some plate with a paper towel on it, and I have done a few of them already, and that's it. Alright, those look really nice, so I want to plate them up and then let's give them a try. So this is some delicious homemade hot sauce that our friend Kelly made, so I think I'm going to use some of that. Just put a little bit on the plate here. And then our fritters, just like this. And then some honey. And a little flour. All right, there it is. All right, so there we are. So those are blue dick corm fritters with some homemade hot sauce and some honey. Can't wait to get into these. So the fritters are nice and airy, and the flavor of the blue dicks is very, very mild, but it does have a little bit of a nutty flavor because the fact that I roasted them in the pan. And I really like the sweetness of the honey and a little bit of kick from the hot sauce. And we also incorporated those blue dick blossoms in there as well. You can see that purple color shining through, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Actually really good. Like I said, the flavor of the blue dick's really mild, but it does add a nice texture to it. And I really like the sweetness of the sugar in the batter and also the honey. Well, that was a fun little project. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for following along, and if you like this video, please like, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot, and we'll see you in the next one.
Gas up the Jeep, it's fun to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I on the road.